Stan is a great community leader. United Way is proud to have him on board. He's a longtime United Way supporter. He served as, of course, the highly successful coach of the Orlando Magic, before that, the Miami Heat. This guy's winning percentage is fantastic, and he's really a winner for our community in more ways than one. His coaching style has been recognized as a way of being an effective teacher of world-class athletes, and, of course, juggling the egos, as we all know, is never easy, but he's done a masterful job. We're honored to have Stan not only in our community, but to serve today as our keynote speaker. Stan and his lovely wife, Kim, have 4 children. 2 of them are here in Central Florida in the Seminole County Public School District. And he worked tirelessly, you'll recall, during the campaign to get out and help to raise the taxes that are needed so that we can keep the schools and the school district afloat and keep those schools being built. He's a community leader. He serves on the board of the Central Florida Zoo and Botanical Gardens. He's also on the board of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Florida. And he's here to speak about education and what it means to your company and our community. We are proud to call you a friend and call you a member of our community. We're all for you, Stan, in whatever venture that you go into next. Ladies and gentlemen, Stan Van Gundy.
That was a great introduction by Greg. Maybe I should have had him speak to the Magic 16 months ago. Might still have a job. I know to most of you, the men here, everybody's in coat and tie, and I'm the keynote speaker, and you're looking and saying, what the heck, this guy's dressed casually. But I got to tell you, I've been out of work for 16 months, and this is the holy trinity of style for me. I got to tell you, this is what it is. I have on a pair of long pants, okay, which is very rare, very rare. I have on shoes rather than flip-flops. They haven't been shined, but I have them on. And most importantly, I actually shaved today, okay? And I need a good reason to do that these days. So that's where I am. Look, I'll make you 2 guarantees here before I start speaking. Number one is, this speech will be worth every penny that United Way is paying me to give it, okay? And number 2, they allotted me 15 minutes, and I promise I'll come in well under that, okay? I was recommended for this by Dr. Ann McGee, who was the president at Seminole State College. And I think the reason I got recommended, I spoke at her commencement last year. I wasn't particularly good, but I was relatively brief. And I think when they had the meeting and talked about speakers, she said, look, he's not real good, but he won't take all day. Because as I said to someone earlier out here today, how many times have you ever left an event like that and said, boy, I wish that speaker would have gone a little longer? But I would like to speak with you for a few minutes about an issue that's very important to me and probably to all of you. It was already highlighted here as one of the, as Marty said, the tripod of things that we're talking about, and that's education. I will tell you, the United Way staff here was helpful enough to actually provide me with a script, okay, so that I would know all of the things that I needed to talk about. Of course, they should have kept in mind if I could follow a script, I'd still have a job. So one of the problems you get with me is when I get up here, you never know what the heck I'm going to say. So we'll see how we go here. But as Greg said, a year ago, I was involved in a campaign in Seminole County to raise the millage. Some of you may be paying more on your bills because of me. Sorry about that. But to generate up to $25 million a year in additional money for pressing needs in our public schools. And sure, I still, as Greg said, I still have 2 kids in the public schools in Seminole County, but that really was not my major motivation for becoming involved in the campaign. Because the truth is, my kids, like most of your kids, have everything that they need to attain a quality education. They may or may not get that education, but it's not going to be because they didn't have the things that they needed. It's going to be because of their own motivation, hard work, and ability. Unfortunately, for too many students in our schools, that's not the case. There are too many students, often through no fault of their own, who are failing and being left behind. Nationwide, a child drops out of school every 26 seconds. Our Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan, who was a former basketball captain at Harvard University, often plays in celebrity basketball games. And when he does, he wears number 26 to highlight that alarming statistic. As a community, I don't know how we can accept that. I don't. It's morally wrong to stand by and watch so many children with great potential get left behind when with the proper support, they could succeed. As important, and I don't know if you need another reason other than the moral component, but even when you get beyond the moral issue, providing the support that every child needs to achieve academically and succeed in life is important to our community and economic vitality. Our community cannot reach its potential unless we are developing and utilizing all of our human resources. Every time a child is left behind and not educated, our entire community suffers. When I was campaigning last year, I often asked people, what kind of community do you want to live in? That's really the question, okay? And we all read the study recently. I don't want to bring up bad news, but we all read the study recently of where Orlando ranks in terms of high-paying jobs. More importantly, where we rank in terms of low-paying jobs. I don't know a whole lot about economics, but I know a key to turning that around is education. If we want to attract major corporations and the high-paying jobs that they bring, we need to have a highly educated workforce to attract those companies. Investment in education pays off for the entire community with a better trained workforce, higher incomes and the expanded tax base that follows, and even lower crime rates. I've often thought that if we did the job that we're really capable of doing in terms of education, we might not put Sheriff Dimmings out of work, but he certainly wouldn't be as stressed as he probably is on a daily basis. We're all in this together. We all win when a child succeeds in school, when a family is financially stable, and when people are healthier. The only route to a more robust economy and increased global competitiveness is through better educating more people to utilize all of our human resources. We need to educate every single child in our community. And to do that, we need to give them the same advantages the same advantages to the best of our ability that our kids have. United Way's vision is to create a community where all children have an equal chance for academic success, regardless of their economic status or where they live. That is why we need to support the United Way. In 2008, United Way launched a 10-year initiative to cut the dropout rate in half by 2018. That's a very ambitious goal, but it can be achieved by utilizing United Way's core strengths: a national network, committed partners, and public engagement capacity. United Way's model is rooted in research and focuses on supportive communities, effective schools, and supplementing what a child may be missing due to their family situation. Taking the education challenge requires reframing education from cradle to career. I believe we have a slide that's going to go up, right? It was hard for them to follow because I wasn't on script. I'm never on script. Take a look at the screen. From providing quality daycare for preschoolers to helping teens make smart choices about college, Heart of Florida United Way is funding critical programs that support education. The slide lists a lot of the nonprofit organizations who receive United Way grant funding. United Way's own initiatives, as well as community organizations supporting children and families that United Way collaborates with. These programs help children through every stage of their lives into adulthood. For example, the first few years of life are among the most critical. Children learn more before their third birthday than at any other time in their life. This is when children learn how to think, solve problems, be creative, communicate, cope with stress, and control their emotions. I don't know what my parents were doing with me in the first 3 years of my life, because that last one I don't know about. We can help build healthy brains by providing young children with nurturing and stimulating experiences. From school readiness programs, we progress to things like reading proficiency, successful grade advancement, graduations, and college and career readiness. The strategies proven to work are those that connect communities to their schools: parental involvement, literacy volunteers in the classroom, mentors for disadvantaged students, as we just saw, and business leaders engaged in early childhood advocacy. The United Way supports all of these programs and more, and that is why one of the best ways we can enhance every child's opportunity for success in school, work, and life is by supporting the United Way campaign. Please carry that message back to your companies, co-workers, and friends. As a basketball coach, I spent my entire career competing. I hate to lose. And the stakes here are a lot higher than in any basketball game. When it comes to education, we simply can't afford to be second best. We need to work together, and we need you to build a winning team. Leverage the expertise of the United Way team. They're all here to help. Thank you for making a difference and living united.